Good morning, Monday morning, exciting day ahead. Heading now to Tel Aviv to meet Saket, a guy I met at the Our Crowd Summit from India. And we're meeting to talk about a trip to India and Israel and India tech collaboration. After that, I'm doing a guest lecture for NYU students visiting Israel, followed by a lunch meeting with another dude I met at the Our Crowd Summit, Mike Jacobs, to talk tech. Tonight I'm heading to Melbourne, Australia for the week. So I have like 48 hours of a journey ahead of me, and I'm pretty excited about it, but kind of terrified. All in all, it's going to be a great day. Let's do this. Bright and early meeting here in Tel Aviv with this dude, Saket. Did I say that right?
Yes, correct.
Awesome. So the truth is, honestly, we were both walking at the Our Crowd Summit the other day, and he's like, did someone introduce us, or we just like connected? How did we originally connect?
We did connect on LinkedIn.
Just on LinkedIn.
And then I reached out.
Okay, so he stopped me at the Our Crowd Summit, and I said to him, listen, man, I got to give you you deserve better attention than this. Let's actually sit and talk, But the problem is I'm leaving to Australia in 2 days, so we actually managed to get in a meeting right before I leave tonight. So I'm very, very happy we did. Gotta be honest with you, I didn't know, there wasn't much context before, but I don't know, I like Indian people. You guys are really nice.
Thank you.
Canadians and Indians are the nicest people. I don't know if I don't even know if that's politically correct to say, but I just feel like every Indian person I know is super nice. My first job, I'm going on a tangent here, but my first job at Converse as a technical writer, there was an Indian writer in the department there, nicest guy ever. Anyway, I also don't know how the sound, the acoustics in this place are, but let's hope. So, Saket, tell me about yourself. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 28.
20? Oh, you're a little kid. All right, so give me like real quick your background, because I want to swing and talk about Israeli tech. Give me your background like in 30 seconds.
I come from a family business background. I wanted to diversify. I saw Israel, India as a great opportunity. Small country, large market, high on innovation and need of innovation. So we built a very interesting model where Israeli companies generally are looking at US as a market, Europe as a market. India has been less of a focus. So we built a model where we said, as long as you're a great company with a very monopolistic, very unique product, we will bring India on a platter to you. We put in the capital for the India and Asian market. We hire a team for you, country manager, sales support team, and we run the entire business development and customer success piece. We're doing it with 7 Israeli companies. We're very successful, and I'm in this trip to look for more technology.
So let me get this straight. Where do you live in India?
Mumbai.
So you live in Mumbai, and you're like, I have this family business. I want to diversify. I want to like kick it up a notch. Out of all the countries in the world, out of all the places in the world, why Israel?
The fun answer is because the women in Israel are really beautiful.
Let's edit that out.
I have like tons of requests from my friends to make them meet with Gal Gadot.
All right. But I don't think that's unique to India. I think most people want to meet Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the practical answer is it's just so natural. A small thing as simple as the time difference, which is just 2.5 hours, makes a whole lot of difference. I think Israelis love Indians to a great extent. The last week I was in Jerusalem and I met this guy. I was asking him for directions, and he was like, "Are you from India? Can I give you a hug?"
Serious?
I am actually serious, and he was so excited. Everywhere I go, people like Indians.
Very interesting.
And I think if I go to a US market, I look at 100 companies. And there are 2,000 people chasing them. It's just a large market. US companies are always looking at US market because it's big. Whereas Israel is a very small, concentrated, curated place where I come here, I meet 100 companies, 70 are good.
Okay, so you come to an Israeli company, you say, listen, you're building your US strategy, you're building maybe your China strategy, you're building your maybe Europe strategy.
Okay.
What about India? And then you take them and you say, let me build your entire operation in India from beginning to end, including capital, you invest,
Correct.
to building the operation, the sales, everything. And then you basically have this rev share model with the company.
Correct.
And so you're working with 7 companies right now.
Correct.
Can you name some? Are you allowed to talk about any of them or not?
Yeah, sure. So one of the companies we work with is Spotinst. It helps you save 80% costs on your Amazon Web Services bills.
How do you spell it?
Spotinst, Spotinst.
Spotinst.com?
Yeah.
Interesting, I'll check it out.
It's one of the most innovative technologies out of Israel. It's very suited for India. They save you 80% cost and charge you 20% of what they save you. So it's being used by almost all major e-commerce companies in India today. We've really scaled it up. And after the success, companies came to us saying, can you get us more technologies from Israel? And we partnered with 6 other companies, and we're doing very, very well on that side.
Okay, so let's just, one more thing, and then we'll sum it up. your call to action, what you want to do right now is find interesting Israeli companies in what spaces, and you want to invest and you want to help them scale into India. What are the spaces you're looking at?
Correct. So we're definitely looking at cloud, DevOps, and anything to do with IT and hardcore infrastructure. We're looking at consumer electronics. We're looking at automotive and anything that supports e-commerce.
So what are you not looking at? What won't you go near?
I would not go near. I mean, it's tough to say, but go near water and medical devices at the moment because
it's not your expertise, right?
It's not my expertise,
okay.
And
that works. All right. If somebody wants to reach out to you, wants to contact you, what's the best way to do that?
They can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or they could just write me an email. It's Saket SAKET @onivation.in. Innovation Onivation. So Saket@onivation.in.
Okay, let me try to get that right. Saket, S-A-K-E-T at Onivation.
O-double-N-I.
O-double-N-I-V, okay.
V-N-D-I-O-N.
Got it. I-L?
.in.
.in.
Yeah.
India. Got it. Okay, got it. All right, so reach out to them, and if you think you're a startup that might benefit from scaling and from expanding into India, I'm very happy we got a chance to meet. I know you have in your next meeting, I have a talk here to NYU students, but all in all, fantastic to meet you, and I hope we can collaborate for many years into the future. I feel like you're the Prime Minister of India, I'm BB. We're like, our countries are like in love with each other. You saw those those pictures that they tweet, like you're like in the water and hugging and like what's going on here? All right, guys, this guy, reach out to him. He's a good guy, and I think it's an amazing thing when I hear about more and more countries that are collaborating with Israel. It's a win-win. I love it.
Toda Rabba, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hillel is the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of the successful startup Zcast, a worldwide well-known tech blogger and one of the best advocates for marketing and for the Israeli tech ecosystem in general. Thank you, Hillel, for coming to speak to our
Short and
students.
sweet. I love those. People's long intros. So I moved here at 15 from New York to Jerusalem, which, as you can imagine, is not a very easy transition. 15 years old, moving from anywhere to anywhere is not an easy transition, let alone New York to Jerusalem. I don't know if anybody been here before, or all you guys are first time. So you haven't yet encountered Israeli culture. But Israeli culture and American culture are very different. I'll give you one example. In America, when you put your blinker on, the guy in the next lane sees your blinker and says, okay, this person wants to come into my lane, so I'm going to slow down, right? In Israel, you see a blinker, you speed up. Like, I'm actually not kidding. Like, culture is very different here. And so it's definitely a culture shock. By the way, what I just described, is not so good when it comes to driving on the road. It is very good when it comes to technology. We don't let anyone in our lane. Figuratively, people tell us what we're doing in this country is impossible in terms of tech and innovation. We're like, you say it's impossible, we're going to try hard, we're going to make it happen. We'll get there. I sit with an Israeli, let's say an engineer, right? So I sat with an engineer like 8 years ago, and the guy built an app. What does this app do? It organizes my photos. That's it. That's the whole pitch. It makes some order in your photos. Like, it doesn't get much easier than that, right? This is what he said to me. This is a direct quote. I kid you not. I said, Ron, what do you do? He looks me in the eyes with a straight face and he says, we've developed an algorithm that analyzes the metadata of your photos and organizes them based on geolocation. And I looked at him like you're looking at me. Like, what did you just say? Like, that's how you talk to people? Like, investors, journalists, in that language? He's like, well, that's what we do. Like, that is not what you do. You organize my photos. I don't care about your algorithms, And he said, well, how do I pitch it? And I'm like, Instagram replaced the camera, Waze replaced maps, you replaced the gallery. I was like, open your gallery, find me a picture from March 4th. He's like, I can't. I'm like, that's your pitch. He's like, mind blown. So then I sit with this Israeli entrepreneur and I say, all right, so that's your pitch. And then I say, who are your competitors? What do they say? Any guesses? But 9 out of 10 Israeli entrepreneurs, when I ask them who their competitors are, what they say? You have none. Right? You have none. Now, why do they say that? Not because they're stupid. They say that because they define a competitor as someone doing the exact same thing as me. I kid you not, I sat with an entrepreneur one time. This is a true story. You guys are gonna fall off your chair right now. I sat with an entrepreneur one time. He was a kid, in his defense. He was a young guy. He says to me, this was maybe 4 years ago. He says to me, I'm building a photo sharing app. I was like, why would you do that? You're competing with Instagram? You're like a freaking empire. Why would you do that? He goes, no, we're different. I was like, you're different. How are you different? He goes, we have this filter that Instagram doesn't have. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, you think that's your differentiator? So a lot of times entrepreneurs will take the definition of a competitor and say, it's somebody that's doing the exact same thing as me. And I'm like, that's not what a competitor is. What's a competitor? If I'm going to the Washington Post and I'm saying to the Washington Post, use my technology, let's call it product A, right? And your readers will stay on the page longer. That's my pitch. Washington Post is my target audience, and that's my value proposition. Use my product A, and your readers will stay on the page longer, okay? comes along product B, and we have nothing in common. The products are completely different. It says to the Washington Post, use my product, and your readers will stay on the page longer. We're not competing. We're direct competitors. We're going after the same people. They're not going to use both of us. We're competing. So I'm helping these, entrepreneurs understand that they have a landscape, and to say you have no competitors is ridiculous. But they say that because they're kind of scared to admit that they have competitors, when in reality it's the opposite. If you don't have competitors, that's when you should be scared, because why is no one else trying to do what you're doing? Maybe there's no need. So we finished this talk. How was the talk, guys?
Great. Amazing.
Can we get a little energy in the room, please? How was the talk? There you go. All right, guys, you're going to come back to Israel, right?
Definitely.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I had a really great time meeting you all. And that guy over there is really good questions right there and the accent. What's your name?
Emil.
Emil?
Yeah.
Ah, so can you speak a little?
Hi.
Fail. I really enjoyed doing that talk. Dr. Liraz Lasry, a good friend and a marketing professional, the likes of which this country does not know. She's the top. Invited me to do that guest lecture, and I loved it. Now, heading to Mythos to meet Mike Jacobs, who I told you I met at the Our Crowd Summit and has decades of tech experience. Excited to hear what he's up to. And excited to eat at Mythos. CNN. We're going on CNN. Say hello to CNN. Check out this steak, baby. Who are you?
Wow, Mike Jacobs. Hi, about to have a great steak.
We're not talking business now.
We're not talking business, we're doing meat.
All right, dig in. We just finished. How was that meal?
Amazing steak.
I mean, no, honestly, how was that steak?
Amazing
I
steak.
mean, Mythos is top notch. That's what you were gonna get the burger, and I was like, burger?
No way. No way.
Really, man?
That was
Okay.
exceptional. It was fast. It was phenomenal.
Amazing steak. All right, so you just saw the steak actually. All right, so let's try to like focus here. Who are you?
Mike Jacobs.
Where do we meet?
We met at the Our Crowd conference last week.
Okay, and how did that conversation initiate? What?
Well, I've been following Hillel for about 9 months.
Wait, don't finish that sentence. Not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter.
Not on Facebook.
Not on Facebook.
Where?
Not on LinkedIn. On YouTube.
Yeah. I'm just getting started with YouTube. I'm so happy to hear that.
And it's amazing content.
Thank you, man.
Amazing content.
Appreciate that. Wait, let me get this camera a little straight here. That's better. Okay, so
I'm standing at the conference.
Yes.
I see him across the road, across the hall, and I say, "Yo, great opportunity! And I'm going to teach myself."
love it.
Love it.
And then you reached out and you told me that we have a lot of things in common in terms of our philosophy on business and startups and mentoring and that jazz, all that stuff. Truth is, I think this is one of the more productive meetings in terms, like you said, we had literally 2 separate meetings. Give me a little bit of your background, whatever you're allowed to talk about, because there's certain things you can't talk about, and that's understandable, but what can you talk about?
Okay, so I made Aliyah in '91, so that's quite a few years ago. I'm here. I have 4
L'chaim,
kids.
l'chaim.
L'chaim. I have 4 kids. L'chaim. 4 kids.
Yeah.
And been involved in the ecosystem here for the thick end of 25 years.
Okay.
I've worked in a startup. I've founded startups. I've worked in large corporates.
One might say you're responsible for my first job.
That's true. Indirectly.
He was managing the department at the company at which I worked, but I actually joined the company after he left. But he formed that department, and he was like my boss.
2 or 3 years earlier.
Before. It's pretty funny. Very small world.
Small world. Very, very small
Thank
world.
you. Okay, so
that was at Converse. That was cool. And over the last decade or so, I've been involved in visual content, mobile visual content specifically, and mobile monetization of visual content specifically.
So you were doing visual content before visual content was a thing.
I've been doing visual content for a long time.
It wasn't even a thing.
It wasn't a thing. We're talking 2008 onwards.
Okay, so you got a lot going on in that space, and now you're focused on, again, using this phrase has become somewhat of a cliche because us marketers ruin everything, but you're focused on value, giving value.
Correct.
You work with startups. Yeah, tell me
So
about
what
that.
I'm doing, I'm mentoring at the moment. I'm mentoring some students, amazing students at the IDC who are just inspirational. The IDC is in Herzliya.
Yes.
It's a university.
I lectured there actually.
Okay.
Like 5 years, I think.
Okay.
It's a really actually a very, very impressive institution, I should say. IDC. I really am very impressed with it. Anyway, so you teach
And what's
there.
amazing there is they have a very large number of students from overseas who come to Israel specifically to study for their bachelor's.
What is going on?
Amazing place, absolutely
Yes.
amazing
Okay.
place. So I mentor there, and I'm working with some startups who are looking to make a difference. Some very exciting products,
You help
and I'm
them-
helping them. I'm simply helping them.
You're helping them, if I'm going to maybe simplify your value. Oh, Jesus Christ. I could tell if the camera was, by the way, now I'm a real vlogger because my camera fell. That you're not a real vlogger until your camera falls. I don't know what just happened.
Okay.
But that's a first. But I'm totally keeping that in. Joseph, do not edit that out. That was totally staying in the vlog.
That's the real thing.
That was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, you know Casey Neistat, he always drops his camera all over the place. So
Okay, there you
now
go.
I'm a real vlogger. Okay, anyway, so correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to try to translate my understanding of the value that you provide to these companies. Israeli entrepreneurs as a whole are amazing at building technologies. You take that technology and you transform it into a business.
Correct.
How's that?
That's amazing.
You should hire me, man.
Phenomenal.
Listen,
Okay.
this was amazing to meet you. I love your philosophy. I love the stories that you could not talk about on camera. I think you'll be hearing about this guy a lot. You say that? Is that allowed?
That's allowed.
Okay, and some exciting things going on. Let's just leave it at that. Thank you very much for lunch. This was awesome.
a pleasure.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe collaborating in the future. I hope we can work together and make the world a better place.
With
you know?
pleasure.
All right, man.
With
Thanks.
pleasure.
Well, it's a solid day. Just got home nice and early to get ready for my 48-hour journey ahead. Heading to Zurich, then Singapore, then Melbourne. It's gonna be a long night. See you then.